Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spittin' Seeds. I'm Seed Person One. This is episode 12. We're going to be talking about veg and hopefully some people will hop on. Let me get this stuff set up here. Just bear with me here. One man show and all that. Copy a link. Here's the link. And I'm going to make sure I'm in live chat and I'm going to pop my chat out. What's up, Isana? I see you. All right, minimize that, and we're good here. Awesome. So I just want to give a bit of a life update. I am beat to shit, y'all. I've had quite a week so far, and it's only Wednesday. Um, I wasn't even sure if I was going to be doing a show today because I spent a good hour and a half of my day in the dentist chair, and they shot my mouth full of numbing shit, and I looked like I had a stroke. I was walking around Kroger afterwards trying to get groceries, and yeah, my whole face. And then I guess they hit the nerve. So what happened was they gave me one shot in the bottom and it numbed my whole cheek and everything. And then they gave me three shots in the top and it numbed the cheek and my tongue and my lip, and it did not numb my gums. So then the lady went in there with the tool and was like poking around, and I'm like, oh shit, that hurts. She went back in with for a fourth shot, and it still didn't work. So I was just like, let's just get it over with and just clamp my teeth down, and she scraped the shit out of them and it hurt like an MFer, but I'm done. I don't have to go back, for a long time, hopefully. So, but that was very unpleasant. And also, I'm doing this move. So, um, been every free minute I get is packing and sorting and getting stuff ready and trying to get stuff like set up for when we get there. So, yeah. And also, we're having some crazy weather here. So, if I drop out suddenly, it means that a tree went down somewhere and knocked out my internet or something. Um, so just fair warning, if the stream drops out, it's probably because of the weather here. We're under a tornado watch right now. What's up, Ice and I? How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good actually. Yeah, not too bad. Uh, Put my shoulder out, I suppose. That's the only thing that's bothering me at the minute. I was lifting some weights earlier and that impinged on me.
Mm.
Left me in sort of like severe agony for about 30 minutes, but working
Oh,
it
that's
off.
never fun.
You
That is
know,
never fun.
it's I think because of being ill over since Christmas, been ill 4 times. I just cut back on my exercise and because I've been feeling good, I picked up the weights again today, and I didn't consider that I might need to reduce my weights again. I think that was probably what it was,
Yeah.
because I went straight in on where I thought I could pick it up where I left off. No, just a
If
little
you're
bit too
over
much.
30, you can't go hardcore anymore. I learned that.
Yeah,
But good on you for exercising anyways. I hope it heals up quick.
yeah,
That's never fun, though.
it's already got better. I've got one of these medical conditions that I have weak joints, what they call uh, hypermobile joints. So
Mm,
I have to be sort of careful anyway. And yeah, it's just part of my life is muscle and dislocations and the like of sprains, all sorts of weird injuries. Just even just transfer my weight to when I was at some point in time, just transfer my weight from one foot to the other. I could roll my foot over and
yeah.
feel like I just snapped my ankle off, but
Uh,
it popped straight back. But yeah, I can do some really,
Jesus. I wonder if
you
your
know,
wife is into that. Yeah, man. Just giving you
yeah.
shit.
I don't really talk about it too much because if I concentrate on because I do have quite a lot of underlying issues and conditions, and if I focus on them, it it then becomes an issue for me, if you get what I mean.
Yep,
Whereas if I
absolutely.
try and, I'm not my, I don't try and live my condition. If you get what I'm saying, it doesn't define me.
Absolutely. Hey, I want to say welcome to Jace. What's up? What's up, man?
Cheers,
Hey, not
Jason.
much, guys. What's going on? What I miss out here on here?
Oh, we're just giving some life updates and commiserating over shared pains and stuff. So, how's your neck doing, brother?
It's doing better. It's tolerable now. I mean, I wish it was healed up, but I feel like I'm on the mend. I'm on the road to recovery, so I think I'll be okay. But that just sucks how long this has been going on. I can't believe it's been like almost 2 months now,
Oh,
or or right at 2 months, or a little over 2 months. I don't even remember now, to be honest.
yeah,
Yeah, it feels a lot
Uh,
better. I think I'll be okay.
good.
do you not sleep good, Jace?
Man, I wasn't there the first probably month because I was just in total pain, and it finally let up enough to where I could sleep on one side at least. So I sleep pretty decent now. Of course, I take like a fistful of edibles every night, just about.
Well, I used to, like I say, I have this condition, and I have the real bad neck problems myself. I've got disintegration of my disc and whatnot, my vertebrae. Also, my T1 is sort of a bit smashed. Uh, but I found sleep, apparently, if you don't sleep enough, you don't produce this sort of chemical. And one of the first things that go, if you ever lock your neck and it locks like a whiplash,
Yeah,
and that's normally due to a lack of sleep, believe it or not.
yeah, I
But
believe it.
one of the things that can counteract these muscles in your neck that spasm up and lock is I don't like to say, but benzodiazepam, Valium is, it does the job. You know, every time I've locked my neck up, it's like 2 days on the Valium, and it's not enough to get you addicted on them or anything like that, but 10 milligrams of Valium will certainly, relax them muscles.
If you're uncomfortable taking prescription stuff like that, what is it? It's a fuck, I'm totally blanking on it now. But passion flower leaves, you can smoke them. You can smoke the flower too, and it'll have a similar like relaxing effect on the body.
Yes.
I used to use that quite a bit too. But yeah, I totally get that. Like I find that my pain is worse definitely, and I have new pains when I get less sleep, and then there'll be like a night where I'm like, I can sleep in tomorrow. I'm gonna eat, 4 spoonfuls of butter and just crash really hard, and then I sleep for, you know, 12 hours and I get up and all my pain is gone. But speaking of neck pain and sleep and stuff, something that I've recently noticed is that my posture when I'm sleeping is horrible. And I watched this video of a guy who said if you sleep on your side and you have your knees up and you're hunched forward and your head is tilted down, you could literally just lay a chair underneath you and you would be sitting. And I realized that and I'm like shit. And then I realized like how curled up I sleep, and it's very similar. Hold on, Rolling Smoke. I'm gonna spotlight myself for you. Um, all right. You're good to mess with your camera if you need to. But yeah, I totally like I've been trying to fall asleep in a more straight up position, like I'm standing versus sitting. And yeah, it has helped a lot as well. When I
And
remember to do it.
squashes. And
What?
squashes your midsection because when the sitting, that's why a lot of people that do sit behind a desk,
Yeah.
for a job or something like that, they get that belly, that visceral fat, and basically it's just all your organs are getting squashed up there. You're cutting off the circulation down into your legs as well. Yeah, sitting is not good for us, people.
No.
When
And
we're sleeping.
it's a huge part of my reason why I have the problems that I have is because I have very poor posture from slouching and sitting all day long. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of posture exercises and it seems to be helping me get my neck pain relieved some because I'm retraining shit so that it doesn't have to be straining all the time. My head isn't tilted forward looking at a phone or a computer screen all day, as
Text
much
neck,
as I
they
can.
call it.
So definitely something to to
It's
think
an actual
about.
condition. Is they call it text neck, where
Yep.
you're constantly staring down at your phone, and you put this sort of like this kink in your neck. This, or you take the kink out of your neck. You're supposed to have a little bit of a kink. But
And
yeah,
they said
I
like,
don't
sorry, go
really
ahead.
have a pillow, and I sleep flat on my back. And yeah, this is my pillow, and there's nothing to it. So it's I can't have
See,
my head back. It's
yeah,
almost if
yeah.
I get the headache or neck ache, I put the pillow on top of my head, and I put weight on it, and it's like traction, pulling my head backwards, or you know, towards the back of my spine. And that's another way I can get rid of a headache, because sometimes your headaches can come from the muscle spasm up, and that just travels
Hmm.
up all the way over your head, and all these muscles around the
Absolutely.
side of your head just all get involved.
And I would suggest if anybody does deal with that sort of a headache to look into myofascial release. That's what all those little tendons and shit around your skull are squeezing. It's the myofascia and the fasciae of the muscles. It's not actually like, yeah, but that's just slightly off topic.
Mm.
Roland Smoke, do you need some help figuring out your camera? I can see that you're trying to turn it around there, I think. Um, but if Ice and I, you're on a phone, right? Could you maybe give a quick walkthrough on how to do that?
Yeah,
I don't remember.
top right, top left hand corner next to the speaker symbol. There's a camera thingy, and just hit that hit that, and that should flip your camera. But you got to have your camera turned on first.
Right, and I'm spotlighted, so none of that was anybody was seeing that except the ones here on
Yeah,
the panel. So
yeah. Just tap top left hand corner of the screen. There's a little picture of a little camera with a refresh symbol in it. You're muted as well, brother,
the
which is the
mute
bottom
button
left.
is down, yeah, on the bottom left. Thank you, Ice and I. We'll give you a minute to play around with the button some more, and yeah, feel free to jump in whenever you get it sorted out. But um, Jace, do you want to do a quick run through of your plants there on the screen since you got plants on the screen?
Yeah, absolutely. Hang on just a second
Let's
here.
let's see
Just
it update these beautiful plants.
speaking of edibles, I just took a little dose there, so I'm washing them down right now.
I did see that and I was coming, but you were done before I got to the spotlight button. Looked like a green gummy bear. I ate a spoonful of butter. Um,
Are they not on right now?
what's
Yeah,
up?
this is. Oh no, my wife was leaving for work. She was just passing by.
Oh, I thought my thing froze up. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good.
And then yeah, Ice and I was stretching and it looks like we lost Roland. Come
Good
on
morning,
back.
Mimi.
We'll get it figured out. All right, I'm gonna shut up.
Okay, right here we got Goth Girl.
You're not on me. Everybody.
Um, yeah, Goth Girl. She's starting to put on some weight. She's getting a little chunky there. Some nice chunky buds.
Mm,
Stacking some colas up top. Keep checking on these. I haven't seen any male parts. Remember, I had this tent. This is where I had that one herm at. So this is the other one, that Queen of the South, that didn't herm on me so far. Hopefully it doesn't. And it's pretty chunky too. I'm liking these buds in this tent.
I like the structure on that.
Yeah, it's voice and node spacing was a little bit tighter, but I'll live with that. The size of the buds kind of make up for it. And then I got the
Wait, I'm
clones going.
sorry. Can you go? Does the goth girl have some foxtails on the tippy tops? I saw that a couple times.
No, they're just out of this. Buds are just small, like they haven't developed yet. Yeah, I noticed
Interesting.
that.
That one
Yeah,
on the
like they're
front, the very front bud looked like it had a I see that. That looks nice.
yeah, they're just small buds on the top
They're
on the
like
peaks.
fingers, aren't they?
Yeah, but then they
There's
get
been some
chunky when you.
interesting, yeah, like that right there in the front right. where it's just got like a one finger sticking up out the top. Mine did that as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I
somebody
noticed
else's
that.
as well. I saw that. Somebody else
I
had
wonder,
it.
I wonder what it does that.
I'd be tempted to pinch that off, and see it
Do
go
like
sideways.
some bud building or back building, whatever that's called, where
Yeah,
you just snip the tip a little bit. I
yeah.
did that last grow. I think I did it too late though. I didn't really get results out of it. But yeah, these are getting really terpy. You got some nice strikes forming up on these. And then I got the good old cone tint over here. These are getting really close to light, so I'm at the top of these pretty soon. I got maybe another day or two. I might wait. I don't know. I'm trying to get every day I can out of these. What do you think? I'll just like top it down here to the first node, right above the first node, and let those
I would
grow
go
out
the second node just so you have
Second,
just
yeah, get rid of
a
the
just in
first
backup.
note.
case. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Just in case. Yeah, this thing's man, it stacks super tight all the way up. Those nodes are just like right on top of each other. I like this one the best of all the clones I've got, but I'll end up cloning all of them again and just seeing what I got. I might just keep all three cuts from this one. I mean, I know it's all from the same plant, but just the way this one grew, it looks better. This one's not bad though
You
in the
just
back.
you should just clone the tops.
You think so?
I don't know.
Maybe stem clones. Yeah, I always
Well,
find I like this. I like the growth off the main top. If you take a clone off it, they just take off, and you know. And I find you get a fuller plant, whereas you take a branch, you tend to get branches that grow. In my, it's just my opinion. It takes a little bit longer before it realizes, oh, I'm a plant again on my own.
yeah. Well, see, here's the problem. I've still got probably a good month left before I get a tent, so I gotta. If I just cut tops now and I'll have to do it again one more time. So that's what I was saying. Like if I topped it and let those offshoots grow out, and then once they get big enough, hopefully that'll be time for me to just do my second cloning session, and then I'm planting some seeds along with it too. So I need to get the timing down just perfect. Hopefully.
Yeah. So if that was me, I would just cut it right at the halfway point, right above all that tight node spacing.
It's like right in here somewhere.
Just I would go up a little bit, but right below the set of fan leaves, yeah, right there is where I would cut it. And then all those side branches in that section right there in the middle, that's the tight node spacing, those will all shoot out, and then you can take a bunch of clones off it if that's your plan.
Yeah, I can do that. And that way I can get all my clones off just this one plant. I
And
mean,
if you want to
I'll
get a
still
head start, you could clone the top that you take off too. I don't know. Maybe it's too
definitely
much
got some
work.
options coming up. Yeah, I just have to play it by ear when it happens. And then over here we've got the overgrown tent, peyote forum. Not really happy about that one. It's buds really aren't doing much. I mean, it's super frosty, but yeah, the buds just aren't really. There's not much to speak of right now. Maybe that's why it was a free seed.
Yeah, sometimes some of these strains are a bit like that. I found that with like a dosey dough, you know, bangs out some really frosty, terpy, amazing nugs, but they're small. They
Yeah,
That's
are.
what they were talking about that on Cheap Home Grow on Sunday about that like some strains they only have so much energy. I think that was who was talking about it. It might have been somebody else, but like yeah, the plant there's some strains that are like I've never found like a super incredibly frosty super terpy plant that just throws huge bats everywhere. Like it's a trade-off, you
Oh,
know what I mean?
yeah, I was
they
like
are.
that.
They are out there.
I don't know.
Few and far between though.
Last girl I
Those are
had
like
that.
the unicorns, I guess. But yeah, sorry, go ahead, Jace.
Yeah, like well, that last girl I had that Humboldt. Those were all pretty much the same. I mean, they were smaller buds, but they were super frosty. And then here in the middle, we got biscotti gelato. That one's got some really unique looking buds coming up on it. Almost
That
like a
looks nice.
rose. And then last but not least is the Gelato 41. that's what we were talking about. Like this one has some really nice buds on it, but there's just not many trichomes on it to
I
speak of
think,
yet.
like I said, mine frosted up right at the end.
That's wild.
Yeah.
It's chunky. That's a chunky ass bud. That's that one I super crop. I'm gonna wait till I chop this plant down and show y'all. But yeah, I've got a good 90-degree bend on that one at some point. I can't believe it lived. And then, oh yeah, this is what we were talking about. Like these leaves, like some of these leaves are like crinkling or like getting wavy on me. This is the only plant that's doing that. The one
I,
next to it's fine.
is it just on that corner of the tent, or is it doing it on the other side of the plant as well?
Um, both sides of the plant, mainly towards the top. But I don't think it's heat. It's only running in the high 70s in here usually during the day, and that's still a good distance away from the light up there.
Oh, I was
So I
just
So
don't.
thinking maybe there's like a microclimate in that corner or
is it
something
getting a
that's
is it getting the fan? Because that looks like a little bit of wind burn, possibly.
No, it's all the way across from the fan, so that fan's blowing
yeah.
through all those plants. I mean, it's still getting some air circulation, but not nothing to slap it like that. Yeah, 'cause I see what you're saying. That's what it looked like, kind of like wind burn.
That it could also
Like,
be just
like
a
hit it with a
like a
Hoover.
type of variegation. I don't know. I don't know.
Some plants are just you get some crinkly, some wavy stuff. Like some plants like to taco as well. You know, it's as long as the plant's growing healthy, I wouldn't really stress about it.
But the leaves down here are fine. Like they're not wavy. They're normal shaped. And
Hmm.
then you get up about halfway up the plant, or halfway up what's left
Like
of the
the ones
plant.
that are getting direct light. I don't know. But yeah, that's could it be a nitrogen thing maybe?
The tips would Ali tip them down. The tips, Ali
No,
tips.
They're
not
not
really. I mean, it's hard.
clawing. It's just like
Yeah,
got the weird ripple thing.
Yeah,
The curl on the very edges of the leaves. I don't know. It's interesting though.
yeah.
could just be a little bit of a pH swing issue as well sometimes.
Hmm.
Maybe I don't know. We'll just wait and see. Maybe it'll be some fire. Maybe it'll be some shit.
It's either going to
Oh,
be
I got
smoking or cookies or gummies rather for you.
speaking of cookies, I got the oil going right now. I've got the Coke in a 32 ounce. I got the big boy going. So
Nice.
I've actually
Hey,
got
sorry, go ahead.
I've got a load infusing right now, and then I've got some decarb weed over here next because I double infuse. So I'm gonna infuse this too when the other one gets done.
It's awesome. Did Hippie Juice contact you? She had an issue with her machine and I said you should get an Ardent and then she's like I need this much and I said well you should talk to Jace because he got the big one. But
Yeah,
do you want to tell us a little bit how much can it hold and shit like that real quick since you're there?
yeah. So it's I think they say it'll hold up to 4 ounces, which if you so I grinded this one up, and this is about 3.5 ounces. And yeah, it fits a little snug in there. So I believe 4 ounces is the max, but you'll have to grind it up. See, I've got, I mean, you can see there's a little bit of a
Hmm.
bud still right there. I mean, you could put whole buds in there fine. I've done that before. It's no problem. You just get more in there. Like there's another bud right there. But yeah, you can get about 4 ounces max if you grind it up. Yeah, you just put it in, and it's got a control panel on the front, so you can. The A1 is their standard decarb cycle for like your THC. The A2 is for CBD to decarb,
Oh, that's
and then
cool.
yeah, I guess it does it at a different temperature or
Type 1 and
something.
type 2 cannabis.
Yeah, yeah. And then you got an infuse, which that's what I'm doing right now, and then a bake cycle, so you can actually bake inside this, which I don't think I would ever do that, but you have the option to if you want to. And then
Interesting.
it's Bluetooth, so it also has an app with it. So yeah, you just decarb it, and it takes an hour, I think, and then I forgot what temperature it does it at. And then when you infuse, I think it's 217 degrees, and that takes an hour and a half. Or maybe it's the other way
Nice.
around. So anyways, yeah, you just decarb, put all your product in there, you decarb it. Once it's done, you can put your oil in there or your butter, and then infuse it. And then when it's done, I just use the cheesecloth here, and I got this funnel. So I just put the funnel on top of the coconut oil container of the cheesecloth, and I just strain it right back into the container, and I can use that. I'll put that in my pantry and just store it in there because it's got a resealable lid on it. You can just squirt out what you need, measure up. I use about a half a cup per batch of
Nice.
edibles I make.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
sorry to indulge me.
There's the
Super
next
boof.
run.
Awesome.
Looking forward to that. And I know Ice and I want some of that triple cheese.
Cheese.
Triple cheese.
Triple
Triple cheese.
cheese.
Not just one or two cheeses, but three cheeses.
Puts me in mind of brie. Triple cream. That shit's good. Roland said he was going to come back, so yeah, hopefully he can come on back and we'll get him sorted out.
Just dash off then. I put some sausages under the grill just before we started.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Are they
they are
okay? Did you
pretty.
save them?
Yeah, I was expecting a big cloud of smoke in there, but no, they're a little bit blackened on one side.
Yeah. All right, here
But
it comes back in, rolling smoke.
stoners, eh? I'm really bad. If I shut the door to my kitchen whilst I'm cooking, I'll forget. If the door's open, I can sort of like hear it
Yeah,
cooking.
I gotcha. Welcome back, rolling smoke. Hopefully we can get your thing there sorted out. You're muted. If you tap the screen and go down to the little bottom left, there's a little microphone looking icon that says audio. You can tap that. There you go. And yeah, so we should be able to hear you now.
Okay.
My lights are off at the moment, but if you enable the screen share, I've got some pictures I took today.
All right. Rolling smoke, are you able to hang out for a minute for Ice and I to show
Yeah.
his
Oh,
pictures
yes,
there?
definitely.
Awesome. And then we'll come right over to you. Let's see if I can do that actually. I'm gonna put you on the spotlight, and how do I make screen share right here? I think you should be able to.
That says only the host can share in this meeting. I think you have to enable it somehow. I don't know. If it's too much, don't worry about it. It's cool.
I switched it to multiple people can share
There you go. There
simultaneously.
you go. I see it now.
Oh, I just had a weird pain in my face right about where that lady
Yeah.
gave me that shot. All right, there you go. Oh, look at that.
That one is the Franco's lemon cheese. All right,
Looks happy.
Let's see if I go. And I thought I might be able to just see. I don't really know how to do this that much. I thought I might be able to. Aha. Yeah, pretty much. Have had a big defoliation. That one there with the right in the front is the Great Hooley Cross Blood Diamonds. Stop sharing that one. Yeah. Oh, the veg tent. That's all gone into the flower room as well. It's just another look across the room.
Looks good, man. And they're all spread out.
Yeah, that's the RS11. Yeah, like I've had a proper good leaf strip on it as well. As you can see, I've removed I had a lot of barley straw and everything on there, the mulch. I've removed all of that, so hopefully I can put a dent in the the thrip population that might have just been hiding out in there. I've used some diatomaceous earth as well. Put down. Yeah, it's final one. Just everything's looking nice, flush. Some nice big leaves just on the top there. It's pretty much what I just left a few of the top ones that are on the outside, not covering anything. But yeah, I'm all good on it. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Hang on, I'm getting all twisted up here. I was trying to change the title on this episode.
And the other ones, all the little ones that were in the veg tent, yeah, I've stripped them all down. Pretty much how you would set up a main line. I've took them down from the 6th node down to the 3rd, and stripped everything back and just left sort of like a couple of branches on every one. So yeah, just to give it a bit of, I might even throw them back in the veg into veg. I'll just pot them up, and I'll just want to just give them a little bit of an easy situation for a couple of days, and I'll see what's what. But
Nice.
yeah, get rid of all that foliage as well, stripping them right back. I should be able to get them in the veg tent. And so I think I was having a little bit of a problem. It was too packed in there.
They were pretty packed in there, man. All right. I'm gonna jump on over here to Roll and Smoke. Welcome back. Glad we were able to get it figured out here. I'm gonna put you on the spotlight. And
Okay, I'll try to show you this. This is what you don't want to happen in veg. I've been sick and in the hospital over the last 3 or 4 weeks, and I had somebody helping, and he just left my plants grow, and he knew better to do some trimming. But you can survive this. It'll take a little work, but this is Rasufa's tropical frost. But I want to show you something here. Look at the size of this leaf. Can you see that?
the dinosaur leaf right there.
I'll take it off and just lay it on the floor. Look at the size of that thing next to my hand.
That's
I've
crazy.
got big hands. But yeah, this is just crazy. None of it's been sexed. You didn't cut any clones. But no problem. That's what you've got to expect when you have somebody else do that. Now over here, this is something I just brought down. On the left is 11 goth girls,
Oh man, that's awesome.
and over here on the right is 4 no joke from Chad Westport.
That's awesome.
That's about all I got to show right now, but that's what happens to your plants when you do just let them grow.
They get too
It
big on you,
was
huh?
quite a shock when I opened the tent yesterday.
Well, I'm sorry you were ill, and I'm glad you're feeling
It's
better.
life. You know, I'm not, I have no, I want to show you something else here I found interesting. Look at this leaf. I don't know if you can see it. It's got an extra, I keep putting my hand right in the way.
I see
Got an
that.
extra little leaf coming right off out of the middle of it for the 8th finger.
That's really cool. Is that
Alfalfa
a
kelp.
sorry, go ahead, Ison.
Yeah, have you used sort of alfalfa or kelp?
It's living soil. There is a little alfalfa in it.
Yeah, it's
But
probably
not a whole lot. I was
I
pretty careful with it.
I find that sometimes the alfalfa and the kelp will, the hormones in that will, you know, that's where you get the little bud sites appearing in the centre of your leaf and that as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Extra weird fingers that grow, you know, you'll have sort of like double stacked blades as well.
Right, I've got a couple of them. Yeah, thank you.
Not bad thing. I think it looks cool, in my opinion. You know, because it's unique.
I'm new to living soil. I've always been a jacks grower, so this is new for me. Thank you guys. I'm gonna let you all go now.
Oh, you're welcome to
Hey,
hang out if you want and
yeah,
join
we'll
That's
in
all
be
on the
right.
here.
I've got
conversation.
some
Or
work to do, as you can see.
fair enough. We'll let you go then. Thanks for
All
showing us,
right.
man, and can't wait to see
I'll be
what you do with those goth
listening.
girls.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, brother. So, um, I was gonna say this episode was titled "Veg and Stuff," but I changed it to open panel because I realized that I didn't pin the link, and so anybody that wants to show their grow, feel free to click that link if you are somebody that we know. I'm not gonna let just any rando on here. But if you tell us in the chat you're coming on, or you're somebody that then we recognize the name, we'll let you on for sure. Um, and I love seeing new gardens. I love people, feeling like they're able to come on and be welcomed enough to trust us into their space and see that as well. Same as, I learned that from Smot and Crispy. They were great hosts, and um, I miss them a lot. So, but I try to carry that vibe on through this show, and I want to welcome people to come on, and we're not going to judge you or anything. If you got one scraggly ass little Charlie Brown plant, we're gonna see it if you want to show it, and we're not gonna say shitty things about you. We're gonna try and help you turn it into a little bit of a bigger scraggly Charlie Brown plant, and then send you some seeds maybe to mess with or something. So
Oh,
we
yeah,
love all
those all them plants I had in that one pot, I ripped them out.
the what? All the CBD ones?
Yeah,
Why'd you
yeah.
do that?
They were too stretchy. They were floppy. They didn't look healthy, so they just got ripped out. They weren't cut. They weren't cutting it. Maybe if maybe if I took the time on each of them separately, it might have been different. But yeah, that didn't work out. Huh. I tried.
That's why we experiment. Next time, maybe do 6 in one pot or something, to start. Yeah, a little burnt, but that looks tasty. I want to say
Some
cheers to the chat. Sorry, go ahead. Oh, got a mouthful
some
of food.
edible glycation or glycation end products. Advanced glycation end products.
Gotcha. I want to shout out some people in the chat. Terpopotamus, the Jeffro 42069, J5's in here. Yep, we already said that. Galaxy. Galaxy says his goth girls have 11-point leaves. You should hop on here and show us that if you're comfortable doing that. We would love to see it. Let's say what's up, Weed
Yeah.
Nerd. And who else? Martial Artist 2012. Tao's in here. JMJ12. Brian 420 PM, Supreme Grape, Flower Felons. Good to see everybody.
That's a sign of health, in my opinion. When your plants get to like over double digit fingers and blades, that's a sign of health. When the more fingers they have, the healthier they are. And when they're really stressed, and they'll go down to single finger, single blades. 3 blades is like, yeah, it's not doing so well. But when you get them up to double digits, yeah, that's a sign of what I call that plant at that point isn't going to be bothered by anything. It's got a robust, strong. It's going to have systemic acquired resistance.
Yeah. The bigger the leaves, it's it's uh it's a happy plant if it's got that many fans. Like think about if you re-veg a plant, you get one smooth leaf, and that plant is definitely stressed the fuck out. So yeah, definitely that makes sense. I want to say welcome to, or hello to Cannabinoid Labs and Vark Dog the Grower in the chat. Good people over there. Yeah, so I've got my brother-in-law, shout out to him. He's got some goth girls going in his little tent. And he might be listening to this right now. I don't know. You might hear it later, but he was showing me he's got 4 or 5 like regular sized small, they're outside out of the seedling stage, but they're in veg, and then he's got one fucking massive, like it's like 3 times the size of the other plants. And I've had that happen to me one time. On my very first time planting seeds, I planted 4 seeds, and I was growing them in the windowsill, and 3 of them were just like, to now it would be regular sized, and then one of them was just fucking huge, and I don't know where that comes from, but I'm sure
It's a
Asana, you've
male.
experienced that. I bet you it is a
It's
male.
a
I know.
male.
It's just
It's a
huge
male.
though. It's crazy. So and then he
Get
was
your hopes up. You get your hopes up. Everything. Oh, you know how many times I've like, yeah, this is going to be huge. It's going to be a massive plant. Yeah, it's just a male.
yeah. But that's what the males get. They tend to grow taller because they have to drop pollen, and that has to, they have to be up above the females, and so they tend to be taller in veg and just in general. Um yeah, but
I'm
he
not
was
saying it is
talking.
a male.
No,
You know, it might
but
not.
that's probably, good chances. Um
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was gonna transplant them. So I was gonna just talk about a little bit of transplanting stuff. So generally, like, it's not sure exactly why we have all collectively chosen the red Solo cup as our container of choice for growing plants and the seedling stage and stuff, but that's what I always used, and that's what a lot of people that I know use, and that's what he's using. So transplanting with us out of a Solo cup is pretty simple in terms of, like, you can get your bigger container, fill it full of your media, take that Solo cup and just bury it and make like a little mold, and then pack the media down a little bit so that it'll stay, make sure that it's, moist at field capacity or a little less. And field capacity, if is when you squeeze a handful of it, you should get like 1 to 2 drops of water out of it. For anybody that's new to this. And then you can just pull that Solo cup out, pull the plant out of the Solo cup that it's in, and drop it straight into that hole that you just made. You don't have to mess with the roots or anything like that. You can just plop it in there, push the soil down around it a little bit, water it in, and call it good. If you're using like mycorrhizae or something, you can throw a little bit of that in the little hole that you made with the Solo cup, and throw your plant in there. But things that I would not recommend doing is like trying to fluff the root ball out. That's something that I learned to do when I was helping my mom, like with decorative plants and shit in the yard, and she would always say, like, you got to kind of bust the roots up a little bit when you put it in the yard or whatever. I've done that with cannabis. It doesn't like it. Some people do like a root pruning, which I've never done, so I can't talk about it really because I don't have any experience with it and I don't really know much
I
about it. But
massaged when I potted them plants up today. I massaged a couple of them, and because they were quite root bound because they'd been in them tiny little pots for ages and they were really solid, compact. And I grabbed hold of some of the ends and started to unravel them. Quite a few of them broke off and stuff, and and I did give it a good massage, but I'm not in no hurry. See, this is the thing: if you're not in a hurry for you don't care whether you slow them down or whatever. I'd say, yeah, go for it. Do a little bit of root pruning and stuff. You'll get a bigger plant at the end out of it. Just go add a couple of weeks on if you stress it enough, shock it. I would say you can always any sort of like high stress situation, whether it's transplant and topping a plant, average 10 to add 10 to 14 days onto your grow. Or if that's another thing when people say, "Oh, it's advertised it grows this in this amount of days." Well, that is if you grew it perfectly and didn't stress it out at all. Yeah,
right,
you've got a good chance of getting it to finish when they say it should finish, because that's probably what they've done. They've grown it better than you probably could, you know. But that's the sort of situation that I think is going on with a lot of these oh, I have to give it 10. You know, it says 8 weeks, but I always give it 10. Yeah, maybe it's because your 2 weeks is from all your, your stressing and not being as nice to it as whatever, and the plant just took a little bit longer.
Right. Yeah, no, just the breeder packs are they put it on there to catch people's eye most of the time. It's not as a guide for you. It's to entice people to buy it and so they can get their weed that quick, you know. Um, at least in my experience with a lot of the commercial companies, like from like a home grower or like a hobby breeder or somebody, you know, or a craft breeder or whatever, they'll tell you like it honestly the best time to harvest this is at this point because I know this plant really well and shit like that. So um yeah.
I've had plants advertised for short periods, and I've had them finish in just over 50 days, between 50 and 55 days, totally finished out. You know, it was to the point where it's gone amber.
Hmm. Yeah, I had a plant. It was the tropical cooler from Atlas Seeds that said like 60 something days, and I harvested it at 48 days, and it was ready. Like sometimes they're wrong in the other direction too, you know.
I was doing the whole red light thing where you give it 15 minutes at bedtime. You know, I was doing that, and apparently that could shave off a day or two.
Have you ever heard of the product Winter Frost?
No,
No.
It's something that I heard mentioned on the Dude Grows show quite a bit, and it's apparently I don't know what it is, but they say you can give it to your plants and it'll make them finish like even if they're not ready, you can make them finish. And I don't know what it is, I don't know what it does, but I was just curious because that's what it made me thought of. But
it's going to be it's going to be one of the Rick PGRs of some sort.
mm,
Uh, I think magnesium. There are a couple of nutrients that are, if you can steer the plant to finish early by increasing certain nutrients or withholding certain nutrients. I'm pretty sure it's like magnesium. An abundance of magnesium will encourage the plant to finish a bit quicker.
mm,
Might be wrong, but yeah, I didn't
interesting.
really look into it too much because not really.
Yeah, I don't need my plants to be quick about it. Like I want them to be good and ready. But I want to say
Yeah,
welcome to Sevens. How's it going?
cheers, brother.
I don't know if you're muted.
You grown any of my stuff yet?
There you go. Hello. I don't know if you're not coming through clear. Sorry, we can't hear you, Sevens.
Yeah, maybe go out and come back in again.
Or if you have Bluetooth headphones that are maybe hooked up and in the other room or something.
Yeah, yeah, it weren't chop. It was just weird, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's said. I thought he said, "Can you hear me?" or something, but I only caught like the last syllable of it. I don't know. Why don't Sevens? Why don't you try jumping out and then coming back in and clicking the link again, and maybe it'll connect proper. There you go. There, Brian, 4:20 p.m. in Rolling Smoke, New Millennium Winter Frost. They don't tell you what it is, but then it looks like Brian might know what it is because he knew about the rapid start stuff. Anyways, Jace, do you have any transplanting tips or tricks that you would like to share? Since we were talking about that as something that is relevant to somebody I know.
Well, it just caught my attention. You made that comment about fluffing the roots up. But see, I'd heard that before too. I had a family member that worked like at a nursery or something. She was saying something about that. But yeah, as far as cannabis plants go, I've never done that. And it was always my understanding, like you don't want to disturb the root zone. Like you're trying to avoid transplant shock. So the less you can do to disturb those roots, the better off you are.
Yeah, it's full of time. You know, basically they will get over the shock of it. You know, that's why they call it shock. You know, and it doesn't last forever. Generally, never no more longer than 2 weeks. But when I go to pot up my next ones, because they're all going to need potting up again. I'm going to sacrifice one. I don't know whether it's going to be a sacrifice. I'm going to fill it straight up the centre till I meet that stub at the bottom of the stem. I'm going to pull it out, and then put it in the pot like that, winged like a butterfly, or butterfly it. Yeah, and we'll all see what happens.
Hmm.
But in my opinion, that's just gonna, that's gonna just be a massive plant when I get over that shock.
I was gonna say Sevens, you should come back on. I didn't mean for you to like just leave. We meant like leave and then come back and hopefully it'll connect properly and we'll be able to hear you. Yeah, they
Yeah,
say
because
sorry, go ahead, Jason.
when we were at the commercial grill, we try to avoid transplanting at least a week before flipping the flower. And that was why you just want one to recover.
Yeah,
You don't want to be in
this
transplant shock while you're flipping them.
I heard something else as well of where there's about 4 weeks into your plant's growth is a crucial stage in its development, and if you shock it during this time, like top it or transplant shock it, you've got a good chance of this plant herming out. And there's like I said, I might have to look into this again, but I'm pretty sure it's around 4 weeks into from seed, should I say. Yeah, around about 4 weeks, the plant become really sensitive to shock for some reason. I don't know what it is or whatever, but yeah, I'll try and bear in mind sometimes that when I'm doing stuff, the age of the plant, I'm not trying to avoid it on that 4th week, just out of maybe a superstition now, because it's just, if I can avoid it, I will. But that'll be another
Interesting.
one to test. To actually have one on the calendar, and then sort of like in the 4th week, just mess about with it and see if it does actually herm out. Because I don't suffer with herms or anything. I haven't seen anything like a hermy in a very long time. I think the breeding and everything's got a lot better, and people are not just running bag seeds and and hermes.
I think a lot of people are, unfortunately, still, but we're blessed to have such a good hookup with the seeds and the genetics, so um that's part of why I did the goth girl crosses, was because I went and bought and selected the shit, and then I decided I was going to just give it out after I made the seeds. It was mostly for people that don't have as good access to stuff that I do, or that can't afford it or whatever, because I see these packs of seeds out there that are fucking $350 and shit. And I'm like, I just want to get that so that I can make more of that and then just give them away, because that's how it should be. We should be sharing the seeds and the good quality genetics around.
I
And
don't
some
agree
people
with
don't like that though. They'll
I
say,
don't
no, you
agree with
don't.
the high prices that I've seen some of these seed companies or charge for this stuff. And there are even some people in our community that have that put a pretty high price on their stuff. But I'm like $20 is around a reasonable price for a pack of 5 seeds to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, not come on now, it's
Seeds ain't
free.
cheap.
It's almost free. Yeah, it's
Mm.
like we were all told money don't grow on trees and stuff, but but we got to be respectful of it, I think, and I find some people possibly, it's the commercial thing, they want to make money, whereas someone like yourself and myself, we're not interested in this. We just want to enrich and reward people and stuff, and it doesn't price and money doesn't come into it. So if we were ever to, you know, I don't think we'd ever put a price on a pack of seeds like $200 for a pack of seeds. You know, it's
Oh,
not
I
going to
plan
happen.
on it though. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go get some hype shit when I have some free time, some clones, and I'm gonna smash them together and I'm gonna put it on there. I'm gonna call it Sucker Seeds, and it's gonna be $1,000 for a 10 pack. And if somebody actually buys it, I'm just gonna send them all the seeds that I have. Oh man, just for fun. But yeah, no, I just when I have some actual stuff that I want to sell to people, you know, that because I do want to make money off it for a living, but not to get rich or any of that shit, you know. Eventually, I'd like to do that and provide
Yeah.
high quality stuff for 30, 20, $30 a pack, you know, like you get,
Well,
you
this is
know.
it. I mean, if you've got a good product, it's going to sell itself.
Hmm.
Yeah. And like I said, and if it's good, you'll have enough sales where you ain't got to put an extortionate price off it to make some money. You know,
Right.
and we all know we can get, you know, off a small little plant, we can get thousands of seeds.
Exactly.
And we don't need to be sort of like acting like, I don't know,
I just feel
price
like
hiking.
these strains come and go so fast, like it's hard to keep up anymore. You know, like you got to have next year's strain out this year.
Yeah. The best seeds are free, in my opinion. The ones that get gifted and everything else.
I've had
I
a lot of
import
the,
seed.
yeah, I paid money for seeds and then had the freebies that come with it be better for sure.
Yeah. I ain't paid for a seed for a long time. I refuse to now. I don't have to. I don't think there's anything that would ever, you know, even if because the advertising, the hype, and everything else, you know, is like, yeah,
I want to say welcome to Vark Dog, the grower. What's up, brother? How you doing? I
Not too
spotlighted
bad.
myself because I wasn't sure what you were going on with your camera there or anything. If you were hesitant to show your face or
Yeah, I'm good to go, man. I just wanted to give you a little update on my veg situation
you're cutting out a little
and where
bit,
I'm
or is
currently
that me?
sitting.
Yeah, let's
Fortunately,
see
I'm
it.
down
Sorry, go
on my
ahead.
uh,
There's a delay.
it's that weather.
Yeah, no, it's moving in, man. It's coming. We're gonna, there was, yeah, we're under a tornado watch right now. So, like I said, if the internet cuts out, sorry. But Vark Dog, please go ahead. I interrupted you. I'm gonna shut up and you can take the floor.
all right. I'm trying to figure out my stupid camera here. Apologize for that.
Are you trying to flip it around there?
I Yeah, I was trying. It doesn't my stupid ass
Got to turn your
background and
camera on
stuff on
first.
here.
You got to turn your
I'll
camera
tell
on first.
I think he's got the background set on. I think you have to turn the background off before it'll show. I don't know.
You have to start your video.
Yeah, I can't quite figure out how to do that. I apologize.
Oh, you're
If you're
fine.
on
All
your
We'll
right,
give
I'll
you a
back
phone,
minute
out
to
real
mess
quick.
with it.
if you're on your phone, it's down next to
Sorry
your
about that.
microphone. Yeah, you just go. Yeah, that's
All right,
you know with your video off. Start your video, and then you'll be able to flip it.
I'm gonna
you can
spotlight
do that
myself again.
from the meeting, or do I gotta leave the meeting?
No,
No,
you
you're
could.
good here.
Yeah, if you
Your
just.
his video is on.
I don't think it is because that's a background screensaver in it. Just the same
Yeah,
as you know.
that's all
But
I
turn
could.
on.
Look, I just turned
Yeah.
his video
Oh
off.
right.
It said turn video on. Now it says ask to start video. I'm not going to click that, but you can click that video button and see what happens. I'm spotlighted. So if you accidentally show your face or something, nobody's going to see it.
Says
That might be then.
it
I might
says
be
I
wrong.
cannot start video because the host disabled it.
Oh, sorry.
Uh,
There you go.
Mhm.
Ask to start video. There you go.
No, it's just weird, isn't it?
I think he has the
It's
background.
still on my back.
Have you
Yeah,
got
you
your
have a
camera
background
covered?
It's
on.
like
Have you got
permanently
your camera
stuck on
covered?
there.
Have you got your camera covered?
Yeah, how about I back out of this meeting and I'll take that off real quick. I'll be right back.
That's
I'm
what it
sorry
Alright.
for
is.
the
You got
hassle.
you got your camera down.
We're all high and
All right, I'll be
it's
right
Wednesday,
back.
so go for it. We'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
it's my first buzz of the day, so I'm smiling pretty good right now. All right.
take the tape off.
I want to shout out some people in the chat. I see Captain Blackheart, Ryan Perkinson, Silent Truth, Lobo Grow, Tao's still in here, MAGA, Maha, Libertarians, 424. Cheers. Yeah, it's today is the technology. We need like a tech person on the panel.
Need
That
XYZ.
puppy's asleep. Yeah. Shout out to XYZ. Hope he's having fun at the new place and the new grow and job and everything else. Yikes. That doesn't look like it feels good.
She can't feel it.
Oh yeah?
Hmm.
Mm,
It's fallen off.
poor pup. Yeesh.
I don't know if it's a good thing if it's fallen off.
Yeah, I don't know. You know, my cat has got a sore Atticus. He's got a sore on his belly that he's been going to different vets and we had to we're gonna have to surrender him to the shelter and then they're gonna put him with a medical foster and then perform, you know, a surgery on him and hopefully it's not cancer, but it really sucks because this just all happened in the last like month or two that we've just like as we've been trying to move and trying to figure out are we going to try and rehome these cats and what do you know, and then he's got this thing going on and I feel for you, man, because it sucks over here too, you know.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's just, you know, because they said it's either skin cancer or it's an allergic reaction, and he's just irritating it. And it's like, well, could you, you know, tell me? And they're like, it's gonna be $900, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I really can't afford that, you know, like fuck. So yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's shocking. You know, is well, I've had some emotional moments when I've been in the vets, you know, and they've demanded money before treatment. And, you know, sometimes it's like, my dog's going to die if you don't treat it. You can't, yeah. I was like, have you got some sort of oath where you know, you must save an animal, but
Yeah,
regardless of money? Yeah.
right.
What's the matter with you? What's the matter with these people? Because that's
Uh,
business now as much as anything these days.
Yeah. All right, looks like Fark Dog is back, and we're gonna get you spotlighted here. Awesome. Looking good.
all right, so
Is it just me or is
this
it seem like it? Can you wipe your camera lens maybe? It looks
Save
a
me
little
the
blurred.
toilet.
Maybe
Smoky.
it's just a connection. I don't know.
it may be
But
my connection. I apologize. I'm down a basement,
yeah, no worries.
and I insulated my room pretty well, so my signal's pretty damn terrible inside of here. Man, that
Or
looks
does he
bad.
have the black background blur set on? Hold
Oh,
your hand. Can you hold your hand up to the camera and see if that's in focus?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I think you got the background. There you go. I don't know. Let's see
uh,
it. We can see it. So
I
hit us.
feel fucking mad. All right, well, the Spartan pukes have taken off. They're about 4 weeks old. I wish you could see them a lot better.
No, we can see
Uh,
him fine. I think it might be my connection.
that's the third there. And then this is Project V, another Project V. It's one of your goth girls right there. Those are the two Kunos. And then this is the goth girl I've been having a little issue with. I don't know if you can see, but I sent you some pictures earlier. I think I either overfed it or overwatered it, kind of
It's
getting like some curl to the leaves.
Mine did that as well. I think it's a variegation that, or some sort of mutation that comes out that expresses when the plant gets stressed out a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I
It
think
does look though. It does look like an overwatered plant.
yeah, I might have messed that one up a little bit. And then these are all my little seedlings of the Violet Beauregard and Jack's Velvet Punch. And then there's one orange Vortex in there too, from Spark.
Nice. Looks good, man.
And some random tomato and pepper plants for the time being.
Awesome. Those are gonna go outside?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that's the
Yeah.
plan. And
They're
then I'm
gonna be
gonna
fucking huge.
yeah, they're gonna be massive. I already actually got some flowers growing on this one here and this one here. So
Nice.
even if they pop off early, I just get tomatoes all summer long.
There you go. They're gonna taste way better than anything store bought.
Yeah, damn right. I got a random, I think, cucumber down in there too, and a green bean somewhere.
Awesome. The only thing about cucumbers is they're very prone to PM, and I've seen people with them in their grows that end up with powdery mildew on their cucumber, and it gets transferred over to their cannabis. So just something to be mindful of.
Okay. That one's not really gonna live in here too much longer. The weather should be good in a couple weeks for me to take it outside.
Yeah, you'll be fine. I just meant in general, like for anybody listening. Uh-oh. Is he breaking up?
Did I lose you? I'm gonna just pop out here, man. Sorry, I've
Oh,
been a bit
you're
of a
good.
train. Feel
No,
like a train wreck.
you're fine, man. No, it could be my connection. So
I think
we
it's
don't
my
trade blame.
There's a
yeah,
little bit hazy. I think that is an iPhone, isn't it? That's an
yeah.
iPhone thing.
It's
Yeah.
an iPhone, and my signal's pretty terrible. Like I said, down in my grow room because it's in the bottom corner of my basement, and I drywalled it and then thick plastic and insulation, so it's pretty solid in here. It's tough for a signal to get through.
No, it's just the iPhone settings that they do. There's weird uh, touch up stuff for focal points,
Mm.
and that's you've got that setting on.
The
Yeah,
American
I'll
one
have to
is in the
try to.
chat and is seems to be very excited about your Violet Beauregards there, Bark Dog.
Yeah, I'm rather excited about them myself. That was a kind present via you. Thank you very much for that.
For
I'm
sure. That's
just,
what we were talking about, sharing them out to anybody that needs them.
it's a pretty much a cheap home grow run here. I kind of got a little bit of everybody sitting on my table right now.
That's awesome,
So I'm
man.
just hoping I can do you all proud, put something decent looking together to smoke.
I'm sure you will, man. You got some good shit in there, and yeah, it's looking awesome. I can't wait to see
What sort of
what you
are
do in
they all
flower.
staying in that room, hot dog?
No, some of them are going to go outside, and I'm not really sure what's male and what's female yet. So I'm kind of still in the
What sort of
exploratory
power? What
phase
sort of
to pluck out all the male.
what sort of power are
What's
they
that?
under? What sort of light you got above them?
Oh, it's HLG as a matter of fact. Can you see that? It's like a HLG R spec. It's 600 watt.
650R, 650R, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. It's a pretty good
That's
light.
doing all right. That's doing all right, isn't it? Actually,
Yeah,
for a little quantum board.
I'm pretty happy with it all in all. It's done me well. I'm still very new to all this. I'm just over a year of growing. I only got like 3 runs under my belt. So I'm still kind of trying to figure shit out on the fly. It's because of shows like yours that I even have something fucking living. I'd have been totally lost going into this to begin with. So I appreciate all you guys do.
Yeah, man, it's good to see it. the fruits of the labors and how well you're doing. And I'm really excited to see what it turns out to be.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
For sure, you're welcome to hang out if you want. Or if you got to go, I understand that as well. We're gonna jump on over to Sevens if that's possible. How's it going,
Okay.
Sevens?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right.
I'm gonna put you
I
on spotlight and I'm gonna let
yeah.
XYZ vector in real quick. Here we go.
Uh,
XYZ, I see you. I'm gonna let Sevens go and then we'll get right to you.
Oh, not a problem. My lights don't come on for at least another hour, so.
I gotcha. All right, Sevens, it's all yours. Take us away.
yeah. Yeah. No, I had Bluetooth issues. I have to force my phone on my Wi-Fi because I have better speed on my Wi-Fi than my. Anyway,
Yeah.
just technical issues. But anyway.
No, no worries.
Yeah. So I haven't been around in a bit. Busy like a lot of people, I guess. But so I'm about 7 weeks since flip on this. So I got cherry palms on the left. I got basically you're seeing 4 plants here in a 4x4.
Mm-hmm.
I got
They're looking awesome.
two cherry palms on the left from some bitch seeds out of Great Britain. And then I got two dog lickers on the right hand side from Dutch Blooms. He used to be out in the Pacific Northwest, but he's local to me now.
He just got
Actually,
all set up again, huh?
yeah, it looks like he's getting his website issues resolved. I know he had, like a lot of folks in the industry, payment issues because of the finance laws and all that shit. And when he moved from the Pacific Northwest by me, he had to transfer a bunch of stuff, and that's where a lot of shit,
Yeah,
gave him some issues. But it looks like he's getting his site back up. Looking on Instagram, he's getting some clones available now and stuff. So
awesome. Got the root beer.
what's happening?
I said he's got the root beer. So I
Yeah,
hear.
yeah. I think I sent you some of that stuff, didn't I?
Yes, you did. You did send me that and the dog liquor.
The dog liquor, yeah. So on the right hand side of dog liquor, I obviously it's probably two different phenos. I didn't keep good enough records. I know the cherry palms, they're both clones and likely from the same mother, and fairly even canopy. They look pretty similar in a lot of ways. Um, but the dog liquor, obviously the one in the back exploded, and the one in the front is not as tall. Obviously being DWC in a shared nutrient system, they're all getting treated the same. So basically, I have to cater to the plants that are doing the best. And actually, I don't think the one that's shortest. There's nothing wrong with her. She's just shorter.
Mhm.
But obviously, in a grow system like this, it's a diplomatic grow. You have to cater to the strongest. So, but yeah, I figure probably about another 3 4 weeks, probably. Both guesstimated to be about a 10-week strain. So I'll week 7 now. So probably about another week or two as I start seeing my nutrient level in my reservoir as the rate of drop decreases, signifying that they're drinking less. Then basically I'll do kind of my equivalent to a flush. There's a kind of a different nutrient package that the crop salts use. They call it cake. I'm not sure what's all in it, but basically just to finish everything off, the last couple of weeks you use that product called cake, and then basically myself and a couple other people that I know that use the same product, what they do is in the last few weeks they'll do a nutrient change, mix up to like 300 parts per million. That's on the 500 scale, and then basically they'll just keep adding to the reservoir until your ppm almost runs to zero, and then the thought being that your everything times out at about the same rate. So that's in essence your flush in your hydroponic system. So
Mhm.
I figure probably about another 3 weeks, 3 weeks or so. But let me see if I can get this. I got my phone on a tripod here. Let me see if I can get it off the tripod without fucking shit up.
I'm
That's
pretty sure that's
awesome.
the magnesium. I'm pretty sure, or magnesium and something else in these finishing products. You know,
Yeah.
Royburn, whatever you want to call it, sugar load, blast, finish.
Looks good, man.
Right now. A little bit clumsy with the camera right now, but I'm about as high as I can go with the light, but I think I'm okay. I'm a few inches, couple of 3 inches away in the back here, but with my work
Everyone's got
schedule,
the red.
things got away from me. It's a little bit more overgrown than I like, but my
Everyone's got the red stems.
what's that?
Everyone's got the red stems.
Yeah.
I see that uh comes from the light as well, though, you know,
Yeah,
in the end and the senescence and stuff.
and so a lot of us we're seeing it's more prevalent with the LEDs.
Hmm. It's a magnesium thing. If it's coming from the light, I would say add a little magnesium, and then that red stem shouldn't keep coming. Looks awesome though. Sevens. Sorry, we got distracted talking about
Yep.
that.
Yep.
Stoners.
Yeah,
So that's what,
damn
cherry
good.
palms? What
This is the cherry. Yeah, this is the cherry palms on the left.
does it smell like cherries?
I don't know. I'm really bad when it comes to describing smells and stuff. I mean, it smells phenomenal when I open the tent, and I would say I don't know if the cherry palms really smells like cherries, but I do get a limey. The dog liquors are supposed to be the lime, and
Hmm.
I get a very chemically smell, but it's very limey, but it's got a very kind of a gassy chemical smell to it.
That sounds
So
good though.
and it's getting really frosty. So probably in about another week or two, I'll start turning the light down a little bit. I'm probably toward the back. I'm close to 1,000, but as I'm starting to finish, I'll probably taper down to about 700 or so
Drop
on
the
the light.
temperature down a little bit as well,
Yeah,
possibly.
that'll help get the temps down. Right now, well, I'm in Fahrenheit, so right now when the lights are on, I'm right around 78 degrees, but I'm struggling to keep it much cooler than that. But with the light intensity down a little bit, the light power's turned up quite a bit right now. But when I turn the light intensity down a bit, that'll help. That'll get me down another 4 degrees maybe.
I like the old cut down to 17 degrees C at night.
I do
For
need
finishing.
I do have some ventilation issues in my lung room. Basically, I don't vent out the air in the room good enough, I think, and that's just something that's been on my list of things to do for a while now. And I think once I get the air from the tent out of the room and I'm pulling more fresh air from the basement area, I think that'll help. Help some of my
Yeah,
climate management.
CO2 and cool.
You know. But the last few weeks, this has been pretty neglected, other than just a quick daily check, just to make sure they're drinking, make sure that the pH and the ppm's kind of behaving or where I want it to be. And then I'm running a sterile system, so I check my ORP also. So basically, just checking, making sure those metrics are in line, and then going to work.
Do you
But
use a chiller?
yeah, I do. I
Could you
keep
turn the
my
chiller down a little bit?
It's already, well, the chiller's down. I keep my newts right around six. Well, I have the chiller set at 65 Fahrenheit, and right now it's running 66.
Mm,
So
I gotcha. I was just trying to think outside the box because my first thought was like I just saw somebody's Instagram post they were putting ice on their plants like in the pot and letting it melt into the roots and stuff to try and get the plants to turn darker and shit. And I'm like, what's the equivalent of that in like a D or RDWC situation? Um, but sorry, that was a stoner thought.
Yeah, no, I mean, I only keep my, I don't keep I mean, like, I keep the newt solution at a certain temp, just it's more for preventing root rot,
Right.
more than anything. I don't do it really to manipulate color.
I gotcha.
But I just keep, pretty much as soon as the girls go into this system, um, the newt solution is pretty much held within 2 degrees Fahrenheit throughout the whole grow. So there's no shock to the root system. And like I said, I think I just have some fundamental ventilation issues in my lung room.
Mm,
I don't think I think I'm circulating some of my dead air out of the tent back into the tent. I need to get the exhaust air out of the area. I mean, I got plenty of good, basement area, and I just don't think I'm ventilating good enough, and I think that's part of my problem. At least until I prove otherwise, I think that's part of my problem.
well, I think your plants look awesome anyways, so
Thank you.
it's just
Oh,
going to be
yeah.
an improvement from excellence.
Yeah, and so all we do is try and critique ourselves, and I seem to have issues. In this system, I like to use the scrog, but I still don't have a good feel for how heavy I can, trim back and defoliate before the flip, and it's always a constant learning experience, right? So you pick kind of a certain grow method or a certain direction you want to go with your grow, and it takes a little bit of time to learn. Folks can give you tips and pointers, but really, you do learn from your own mistakes to a certain degree, and um,
Do
you
you
gotta
and you grow
you
from
gotta
seed too, right?
what's that?
You grow from seed?
These both were originally from seed, but they were regulars. So usually, what I do is I pop more than I need, and then I do sex tests, weed out the males, and then select a few females, depending on timing and how things are going. Sometimes I'll take those females and go right into this system, or sometimes I'll clone. In this case, the cherry, actually, I know the cherry palms, I seem to recall I cloned those. The dog lickers, I think I didn't clone. I think I just did all seeds with that.
Right. My point was more about like if you're not running like clones that and you've run before, like it's always going to be a new kind of experience. Cause like with these, four plants, you've got three that are they're pretty much the same size, and then you got one that's just a standout that's really smaller. And
Yeah,
it's always going to be something like that, especially if you're doing like seed runs and stuff, and or using, cuts that you aren't like haven't run before and things like. Otherwise, if you are using clones that like you'll know like, oh, this one's going to be exactly double the size or whatever, but if you're running it from seed and you haven't run it before, you're not going to know that. So that,
right.
like you said, it's a learning experience, and always something new.
Yeah, I mean, I flip flop between, I pretty much always start from seeds. I mean, I don't go out and buy clones, so I'm always starting from seed anyway. But then once I pop seeds, how I proceed from there, it varies. I don't have a set way. I kind of adapt depending on what I got going in different tents, or if things are go. I mean, if ideally if things time out in this hydro system, uh, clones is obviously a hydro system like this. Monocropping clones is the best way. I mean, if you want a perfect canopy and just everything dialed, you monocrop from a clone. But I try and have a little diversity. I try and pick out at least two cultivars with a similar flowering time, and if I can go from clone, I mean that's better. It keeps it at least keeps things a little bit more manageable, because I can't really manipulate my reservoir for any particular plant. So whatever I can control, the more I can control, the better. So if I start with clones, I think that's one less thing I've got to fuck with as far as trying to balance things out. But
Right.
I don't have any set rules in this tent. It's whatever falls on a certain, whatever's. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll just try my best to make the best of it and have fun. Have fun doing it. I have plenty of like a lot of folks that have been growing for a while. When you have a a good supply, you can afford to have some bad harvests or some failed grows. You know, you're not going to be out of medicine or any of your recreational product. So once you're established, you know, you can afford to take risks and it's not so stressful.
Right. You're not growing for production as much, you know.
Right. As long as I got enough to get me through, if I have a failed harvest, as long as I got myself enough to get me through to, you know, another harvest yet, you know, I'm cool. But
That's a good mentality.
so, you know,
Yeah.
when I first, you know, as I was getting going, growing, you know, even the wife was saying, you know, don't you think you're growing enough? And, you know, you've got enough here. And it's like, well, one, I enjoy the process. So yeah, I'm growing more than I need, but the process, just you get addicted to the growing process, right? And but then another friend that grows said, you know, you always want to make sure you have enough to cover yourself when things go south, when you have one or two failed grows in a row, you know. And that was a good way to look at it. It's like, I don't have enough in storage now. So, or like yourself, you know, you're planning for a move or, you know, roll back, you know, half a year or a year when Smart and Crispy were looking at some major house remodeling. You know, there's certain things that come about unexpected where having you know, a decent supply without going too overboard, you know, it's comes a time where you're thankful to have it.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good way to
actually
put
had
it.
to go get, sorry, Jace, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying that's a good way to put it. You know, really haven't thought about it like that.
Yeah. One grow's worth of backup weed and you'll be all right. I was gonna say I just went and bought a bag from my buddy and it
That's where
I
I'm
was
at.
sad. It made me sad. I was crying a little bit like fuck. But I'm so spoiled is what it is. Like college me would have been like, you're a fucking dick. Like you should be so glad to be able to get 2 ounces of weed, you know, just if you need it. And uh yeah, definitely been spoiled by the growing process and having an excess of high quality buds.
Yeah, it's costing me my little shutdown over Christmas and New Year is costing me at the minute because I had a couple of sort of like you know, spider mite issues and stuff and run before. So I was something else happened as well. I can't remember what it was, but I had a couple of setbacks and yeah, I didn't have a supply big enough. Plus, I'm supplying two people anyway with what I do. So I'll give half mine away. So
Mhm. And that's the thing is like to me, I don't think I could ever have too much from what I can grow, you know, like from my space that I use to grow. Like if I have too much, it's gonna be given away.
Yeah,
That's
I
right
kind of
now,
never.
what.
right now, I don't think I can have too much because the wife likes the edibles and she does most of the edible cooking and the infusions and stuff. So if we get to a point where we have, say, too much flour around and it's maybe starting to get a little bit older than we like, I mean, the best way to preserve it at that point is turn it into you know, infuse it into an oil or a butter, and then if it's a butter, you know, you throw it in the freezer, and you know, I think that's a great way of extra long term preservation. If you end up with, you know, some older harvest that you know you think's getting beyond the point, you know, you just turn it into edibles and throw it in the freezer, and now you got some more backup.
Mhm. Or make oil out of it is a good way
Right?
as well.
Yeah, something that's really not going to perish.
Yep. XYZ,
Yeah,
did you sorry, Sevens, were you finished with your tour? I jumped back to
Yeah. I
the
just
group.
wanted to show you the 4x4. I don't have much else going right now.
Thank you very much. It's an awesome grow and I can't wait to hear if that lime comes through in the taste because I have like you said, I have those seeds, so I saw them the other day when I was sorting through everything. Um, but I was just gonna say, XYZ, did you have anything you wanted to show us?
Not at the moment. I'm waiting for lights on. Lights on don't turn on until 5 or 6:30 around here, which is I don't know, almost 7:30 your time, I believe. Well, it's
I've
Well,
got
seven
it's
thirty
it's
project.
right
eight
now.
thirty now.
I've got projects for
Oh,
you, XYZ. XYZ. You're just the
oh
man.
crap, man! You guys, I was asking Jace about this earlier today. I was like, hey, daylight saving times, is that in effect? And he's like, yeah, it's like weeks ago. And I'm like, oh. So I don't even know. 8:30, you guys about to shut her down. Shit.
Yeah.
My lights don't come on for a minute.
Wow.
Hold on. Let
XYZ.
me. Yeah.
Have you heard of deuterium depleted water?
I wouldn't drink it. I think that's
Right.
just plain old water, buddy.
It's not.
Well, if you
It's
deplete it of deuterium, then what's left of it? Tritium?
No, it's you've got H2O and D2O. D2O is the deuterium. It's a small percentage of the water of H2O, or
Well,
what
all
we-
water does have a minuscule, very minuscule amount of deuterium in it. I mean, you can't really get away from it, but I mean, it's
but
like
Ice and I's
parts per
gonna.
trillion.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Makes you do that
I-
gangster lean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wanted you to come up with some little gadget that I could deplete my water from, or deuterium from my water. But
Oh, I'm still trying to come up with my gadgets that I'm trying to sell, man. That'll be a minute.
you could
But
sell it. It's
yeah,
sellable.
let's see if I can flip my camera around. I'll fire up the old lights for you guys. And they're still in veg, so this isn't gonna hurt them too much. See, where's the flip the camera on this one?
I
I run my
spotlighted
veg.
myself just so you're in the clear.
I run
There
my
you
veg
go.
with my
Okay.
tent open, and my
Okay,
lights
well,
going on and off around the house. Doesn't bother my veg.
how the fuck do I turn on my lights? God damn it! Oh, yeah, hold on a sec. I know how to
Gotta
turn them
have a
on. I
time
was just
machine.
Well, no, I got to
It's
go
like
into
the safe at the pharmacy is on a time lock. Your lights are on it.
Well, yeah, well, it's all computer controlled. So if I want to turn them on, I have to go in here and into this program and
Like that.
turn them on.
You need
See,
to integrate Jarvis, turn the lights on in the grow.
I could actually do that with my
Alexa,
setup.
turn the
I
lights
could get
on.
me an Alexa.
Alexa, turn the lights on. Google. Hey
No,
Google,
don't do that. I
turn
said
the lights on.
don't do that. That's
Hey, you might turn on my
hey
lights.
Alexa,
Oh, wait.
order me 900 pool noodles.
Well, here's
Sorry,
what's
anybody
still.
out there that's got one. Oh,
Yeah,
shit.
here's what's
Look
going
at
on
these
in the
plants.
tent.
Sorry. I'm gonna shut up.
Yeah. So when the lights really do come on, I'm going to train this one. I think I'm going to top her or it. Oh, they're all feminized, so they're hers. So this one, I'm probably going to wait a couple more days to top. And this one's just having a rough go of it. I've been having issues with mold in my cubes. So I've been having to spray them with hydrogen peroxide, but this one got the brunt of it, it looks like. So yeah,
What
they're
hey,
looking
what
okay.
strains are these?
These are Trop Cherry crossed with Gold Cash Gold.
That's right. I remember now.
Yeah. But
Awesome.
they're getting there. So,
Makes me
yeah.
happy to see you set up again.
Yeah. Well, I got to do some cable management here. It's looking like shit in here. But yeah, I kind of just threw it together real quick, and I really need to clean it up a little bit.
I like the
Especially this area. I mean, yeah, there's wires just flopping around. And then this morning I came home. So this is my heat pump in my system. It goes right into the tent. This morning I came home to my closet door being closed, and my res was like at almost 80 degrees. So I just installed this contraption that should keep the door from closing because the exhaust duct on the AC won't allow it to close anymore. So that's as far closed as it'll go. So yeah, and we're coming along though. We got her going. Got the old CO2 working. Got everything working. I just need to make it look nice now.
Nice.
So, anyways, I'm gonna put them back to bed, and then I gotta work on my light leaks. and like light just pours out of this little corner down here.
Mm.
And you can't really see it right now, but right here where the duct is, you kind of see my jerry rigging going on. Light
Mm.
just pours out of there, and I'm sure when it's nighttime, that's going to pour right through there if I had the lights on in here. So, but other than that, we're going.
It's
And
awesome.
then I think about another week or two, they're going to get flipped, and then we'll start rocking and rolling.
Awesome, man. You got to get a deadbolt on that door.
No, what I did. Oh wait, hold on. I'm already ahead of you. So I put this door handle in there. It's kind of looks like the rest of them, kind of,
Yeah, but
but
it's got a lock on it.
it's a keyed lock. Yeah,
I did that at my house, yeah, with
yeah, that's
when I had to move the plants upstairs.
yeah. It's about as extreme as I was gonna go on this. I mean, I was gonna deadbolt the closet, but there's really no
Like,
way to do that.
why does he have a deadbolt on the outside of the closet? Like,
Yeah, what's
that's
that? Well,
a little sketchy.
Who's you got
well,
tied up in there?
yeah. Well, the thing is that I have to have that door cracked so I can dump the heat out of that tent
Mm, all
and the
the
love.
gadgets or the controllers and stuff, yeah.
Well, no, the light. Like I said this morning, I didn't have that exhaust duct hanging there. I just had had it, venting into the closet, the heat pump, and it got nice and toasty in that closet. I mean, the tent stayed perfectly. It was at perfect 83, but the closet was at 83 too, and that totally fucks up my cooling system for my newts. So, anyways, so we're getting that fixed. I'm getting a chiller too on Friday. So,
Nice. Whoops. I just lost there's the zoom. There's the zoom. Sorry, I was looking at the chat. Sevens had to drop off his I guess his phone died. But
oh,
yeah, cheers Sevens, and he's on Instagram if y'all want to go follow him. Cool. XYZ, do you have any transplanting tips or tricks? We were talking about it earlier a little bit. My brother-in-law was just transplanting his seedlings, or his I guess they're not seedlings, but they're in
from
solo cups. He
what
was going to
media?
I think he's using peat.
Okay, Pete.
Yeah.
I've used the Pete, starter cubes, the root riots, and going into cocoa, I can recommend that. I like to bury my root right just like an inch under the or like half inch, quarter inch under the cocoa, the top of the cocoa, just so that the plant's straight. And then when going into your new medium, make sure you flush it with whatever nutrient solution you're using. You're feeding your plants when they're usually the first transplant, is the most difficult one
Mm,
because you can't use straight water, but you're using a light nutrient solution, and a lot of the like cocoa doesn't have enough calcium. I mean, even if it's pre buffered, but you always have a calcium issue when you go up. Now, I'm in Rockwool now, and it's a little bit different. As far as Rockwool is concerned, I'm learning a new lesson. Don't go from a little starter Rockwell cube all the way up to a Hugo cube, which is a 6x6. Um, I haven't had to really water my plants for like almost 2 weeks, and I think that's what's causing my mold issue
hmm.
and giving me a bunch of difficulties. Because my plants, they're at 18 days. I expect them to be almost twice the size. So, and I blame that on, root, going from basically for most growers, going from a small like solo cup all the way into a 3 gallon pile.
Right.
I mean, I think in soil it's probably a little bit easier, but I don't know. I see he probably has more experience with that, putting, small plants in a big container.
Overwatering is definitely an issue, and we didn't touch on that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
those Rockwell cubes hold water like there's no tomorrow, and yeah, they've basically been at 100% saturation for 2 weeks, and there's nothing I can do about it.
You can't just squeeze out the water, man.
No, you can't. You'll destroy the cube.
Unfortunately. Yep.
Now, what you can do, XYZ, you can get a beach towel and just stand the cubes on top of a beach towel, and that will wick it out really quickly within a couple of hours.
That's a good idea. I see. I think I did make some standoffs, but yeah, I'll put a little beach towel on the bottom. One of the
Trust
the big
That'll even
plants.
work in a pot. That'll even work with pots.
Mhm.
Or it's my overwatering. Get yourself out quick. Instead of waiting for that pot to dry back, you can get it to dry back within a day. Stand it on a towel. That even if you have to replace that towel with another dry one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got plenty of towels.
I like
That's
where
a good idea, man.
I was
That's all.
thinking airflow and lift
Your
up the
humidity will
pot
go
and
up a
get
bit.
some airflow underneath it, but I like
Yeah, your
Um,
Iceman's
humidity
thing
will go
better.
up as well.
that I did. I didn't show you, but I made some standoffs for them. Let me. I'll open her back up. I want to show
No,
you
no.
these.
Okay, go ahead. I wasn't trying to make you do extra work, but
Oh
no, I
no!
was thinking
Oh,
like
I
put a
gotta press the
fan
button.
blowing air pretty vigorously underneath it, and it'll help dry it out quicker.
So yeah, let me get my
But
camera
Iceman's
on here.
is easier.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Isonie's suggestion. So you see these things are standing on. Let me see. You see they're standing on these little 3D printed standoffs
Here, I'm
because
gonna
they're
throw at
just
you.
sitting right on the tray, and I wasn't getting any dry back that way. At least this plant is now no longer saturated. It's at 90%. This is at 100%. But see, what's strange about Rockwell, and this is why I have two soil sensors on this one. This top sensor is showing that it's 60% saturated, and the bottom one it's 100. So there is a gradient in these cubes of how much they saturate.
Gravity.
Which, yeah, I think, but I don't know. It seems water seems to pull up in the bottom quarter of the unit of those cubes. Whereas in cocoa, that would drain off or dry out or drain off rather quickly. These hold on to water a lot better, it seems.
Or it's
So,
evaporating off the top.
yeah, it's evaporating off the top. That's where and the roots basically on the smaller plants are taking it off the top too. So, what I think happens is it goes down, says, oh, hey, I've hit the bottom, and then it starts spreading, lateral branches or roots. And in this cube, I bet you if we took it apart, we'd see roots on the, top quarter and then a big tap root going down, but it wouldn't be branched off. Whereas
If you
this
cover
one,
the
there's a bunch of lateral roots now all over the place that are they're feeding the it's sucking water off of. And this one, all these sensors are at the same height because I have this little template that I use to place the sensors. So, but
if
yeah,
if you was to cover them, like put a bag over each one of them, I would imagine that would equalize the top to the bottom.
well, hold on, Mister the Christmas Amazon man just arrived, and we got the next part of this. Let's see, there they are.
Lab delivery.
Oh yeah, Girl Prime. Well, let's bust these out. I want to put these on anyways. Well, let me put the camera down here.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Let's see what old Amazon brought me. Oh, why do they make these bags so hard to open sometimes? I got me a bag of these
Right.
nice covers.
Nice.
And go right over
Oh,
the cubes. let's put a couple of those on. And this should help with my algae issue too.
That's what I
Yep.
was going to mention. You'll stop the algae.
Well, that's half the reason why I bought them. The algae.
And they're white. And they're white, so they're going to reflect the light back up as well. Did
Mhm.
you? So apparently, if you have a reflective surface underneath your plants, it can confuse some of the bugs.
And they don't know which way's up.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't. You know, it just weirds them out. No, I don't think they'd be happy to
There we
stay
go.
there.
I mean, it's not perfect cover because I can't, put them under the drip emitters, but it's better. So, anyways, hopefully that blocks enough light that the algae doesn't go too crazy. So, yeah, there we go.
Hmm.
But yeah, the towel, I think that's gonna be the trick I see.
Yeah. Can you punch holes in them though with a hole punch for your drippers and push through it?
I don't know. Well, I mean, they drip at such a low rate. I don't know. I could. I had used the stakes that put it into the cube and kind of push it through there, and the water would probably dribble down them because they basically dribble down the stakes that hold the rings in the cube. We'll see. I'll play with it once lights come on and it decides it wants to start watering.
Well, looking good.
Yeah. Well, you're looking pretty good there, Jace. You're deep into flower, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm on week 6.
Hmm. So
Yes,
when you think you're gonna harvest, or are you gonna give them how many more weeks you gonna give them?
probably at least 3, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, this is when they really bulk up. Yeah, but looking good. I mean, how'd you do the deal with your light issue? I mean, weren't you pushing up against the lights with some of your plants, or do you get rid of those?
Well, I just basically tied them around the light, so like they were sticking up above the light in a couple spots on my other tent
So you
instead
got a
of
whole
cutting.
bunch of flowers that are literally hugging the light.
Yeah, I probably get good half dozen of them that are
Wow.
right on the edge of the light or above it,
So the
but
ones
they're
above
hanging.
the light, are they showing like they're like missing out on the light, or are they still just kind of going along like nothing's wrong?
Yeah, nothing's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, they seem normal. They don't seem like they're uh, stunted or anything, from not being uh, below the light.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
they probably prefer being just above it than just below it.
yeah. I would think they'd stretch or something, but
I had that.
Yeah.
I had the only wine cheese do that push through the bars.
oh yeah, my plants are short, so I don't think I'm gonna have that problem this grow. And I gotta start training too. To that, once the lights come on, I gotta take that big one. I'm gonna top it. And then I got some of these little red yo-yo thingy majiggers, or they're not yo-yos, but they're like plant benders. Because normally I'd use my air pots to kind of control which way they're growing. Where the fuck did I put them? Oh, they're right here.
The
But
problem
yeah,
is when your plants are so small, they just fall off.
well, these things,
Yeah.
these will just fall off. So I got,
If you're trying to bend up thin branches, they generally just don't. There's not enough girth on them to. I just find them if I try and put them on, they just slip off, and yeah.
I got some plant ties, so I'll tie them on if I have to. I'll go
Yeah,
medieval on them.
there's a little hook thing on them. I've never worked out what that's for. You know, that little bit in the center. There's a little cut out bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
what's that for? It's to tie it, isn't it? I would imagine to put a tie through it.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what that's all about. Huh.
So
So
yeah,
you
maybe you know,
bend it,
yeah,
and
if
then
you get
use the tie through there.
Or
yeah,
clip it to a stake or a fence or something if you're,
Yeah,
I
my
would think
problem.
maybe for like tomatoes, that would
yeah, if
work
you want to
pretty
go
well.
sideways, yeah, rather
Yeah,
than
that's a
yeah.
possible use. But yeah, it's I've been busy. Well, my work schedule's kind of weird, so I won't be on as much. But usually, like every second Wednesday, I got off. So,
Cool.
but my
Well,
my light
we'll take
cycle,
you when we can get you.
I'm gonna adjust my light cycle so that the lights are on during this time. But I don't know. I gotta think about it because I work 12-hour days now, 12-hour shifts. So when it comes to flipping them, basically, if I don't do it right, I won't be able to actually do anything with the plants until a day off. But the longest time between my days off is 3 work days. So, I'm still debating on how to handle that.
I always have my I try to anyway. Is have my lights on when it's daylight outside, so there's less chance of getting that light leak from daytime. Or
Yeah,
if you had your
that's
lights on at night.
that's something that you don't really want to do around where I'm at because of the heat. It gets so hot out here. You don't really want to run your system during the day, otherwise your electricity bill goes crazy.
I would
So
say like split it through half the day, like have the, light time, your ability to get in there be half while you're at work and half while you're at home or, something like that. And that way it's like staggered so you can see maybe in the morning or whatever that the lights are off or they're on when they're supposed to be and vice versa when you're home in the evening and shit. I don't know. That's how I did it. Mine went from noon to midnight.
I have a little
yeah,
bit of heat or a bit of fairy intuition that maybe the plants, regardless of your time of schedule, the plants realise it's still daylight and the sun's up, even though they might not be able to see it. I reckon they can feel it. And there's other sort of waves and infrared that probably are penetrating inside your house when you're on the opposite cycle, if you get what I'm saying. Maybe.
yeah, I'm gonna have to dispute that one because I did the 28 hour grow, and that what I noticed is they don't really care about when the sun's out. They care about when the lights are on, but what they more care about is how many times the lights turn on and off. That really fucks them up. Like what I just did probably threw them for a loop and will
Yeah, if
mess
I
them up
think
for a
leave
while.
them on from that point, I would have just
Well,
left them on. I wouldn't have gone and switched them off again. I was
yeah,
like, oh, we're gonna come on
they
soon.
got 30 minutes, and I'm kind of wanting to walk the clock back towards when I turned it on because I really need the lights to come on about 4:30 in the afternoon.
I
But
just change if you're in veg, I'll just change. I won't bother walking it
Mhm.
or anything.
One
Just put it on
big
your new schedule.
and they like it better when you walk them back slowly, like take 30 minutes off a day, or move the clock forward 30 minutes. They don't like it though when you really. I see they don't like it. I used to flip, just go. I'm going from 18 to 12. They don't like that.
what about the ones that are on 24? Because that's what I would go 24 straight to 12, 12. Yeah,
That's a big jump, man.
I didn't ever have a problem with it. They
No,
seemed
no,
fine.
no, but I think it slows the bolt down. I mean, sometimes you might want to do that if your plants are, growing up too fast and they're getting tall, they're taller than you want. And yeah, but I mean, it'll take them longer, I think, to actually transition. But that's kind of like bro science right there. So I wouldn't put much faith in either which way. I think you do
Whatever.
what works for you, and that's what's most important. As long as you
I
can take
think
care of your plants.
the point of walking the plants down is to find out when these plants will flower, because some plants will flower at 13 hours, or some plants will start showing at 14 hours a day, and that was I think that's the whole idea of walking it down, is to actually find out which ones flower quick and which
Yeah.
ones don't. And
Yeah, that could be
I don't think it really makes any difference personally.
yeah. Okay.
It's all
See
about
what
that.
works for you.
It's all about the
Yeah.
ethylene that gets built up during the dark period. It's not about the lights on; it's about the lights off.
Yeah, yeah. They really don't count lights on; they count lights off. That I did notice. And the other thing is if you give them too much light, they build up so many sugars that if you have any sort of issue, they will bolt on you and they will get really lanky.
What I always say is, if you're listening to all these different and reading and chat, there's all these different techniques people have. Try them all yourself and see which one works best for you.
Yeah,
And
there's no real wrong, there's no real right way. There's only just really wrong ways where you kill the plant. But
yeah,
there's no, oh, this is the absolute correct way. And if you don't do it this way, your plant ain't gonna grow. There's none of that shit. So
yeah,
each their own.
I'm just a tight ass, and if I can save every little penny I can, and if I can save them few hours a day of light, where I'm just like, they don't really necessarily need it. It's defeating the object at the minute, because I need them to flower and I need them to build up the ethylene. So me giving them this, I'm just throwing money away at that point. In
Yeah.
my opinion, if it was outside, you ain't got no control over it, and there's no cost involved. It's a relevant conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm
Yeah.
paying for it, that's why I don't even mind going down to, if I can find the strains that grow happy, which I have done. I can't remember what I've done. That grew with 9 hours and 15
Yeah.
hours off.
Yeah.
That's even better. I'm all
Yeah.
about growing
That's
for as
3 hours.
efficient as possible. Yeah, and when you work
Yeah.
that out, if over a year, that's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of pennies
Oh
for how
yeah.
much
Oh
it costs
yeah.
these days.
Yeah. My last grow, I used
It's all grow you paid for.
yeah, last grow I used basically a half megawatt to grow my plants and keep them cool, and all the electricity I use. I keep track of that, and half a megawatt is probably 150 $200.
hey guys, we're down to the last 3 minutes here. Sorry to cut you all off. We can definitely get into energy efficiency next time. Which actually I got to tell everybody won't be this Sunday. There will be no show this Sunday. I got some stuff I need to do for the move, so I'm gonna be busy all day. But we'll be back next Wednesday, again at the same time. So, let's go around and do our final thoughts and shout outs and tell people where they can find you. We can start off with XYZ, if that's all right with you.
Yes, that's fine. XYZ Vector. I'm kind of in no man's land right now. I'm up it all night and sleeping during the day. So yeah, like Sundays, you won't see me around. Every other Wednesday, though, I'm going to make a concerted effort to, be on the show. And then I'm almost done designing my fertigation system. So I'm going to be doing a Kickstarter here in probably another month to get that going.
Awesome. Well, we will be happy to have you when you can be here, and we'll definitely share that Kickstarter around when you get it set up. And we can jump over to Ice and I. Please tell the people where they can find you.
Yeah, I'll just start a new Instagram account, so it's not shadow banned. People can actually find it. It's iceni_music. And that's where I'm going to be dropping all my music, and probably it's going to be sort of cannabis related and all sorts of stuff. And everyone else can, anything they've created, can come and drop and share, critique, please. And it's all about creating, and getting some feedback, and just sharing.
Awesome.
Iceni
Thank you.
_music.
Iceni_music. Awesome. I'll go follow that. I saw that earlier and I didn't do anything with it, but I'll definitely do that. And then last but not least, we can jump over to OK Jace 20.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, OKJace20. Cheers to the chat and shout out to the panel. Nice seeing some old familiar faces, XYZ Sevens, and shout out to Seed Person. Thanks for hosting, man. See you guys next Wednesday.
Thank you, Jason. Thanks for being here so consistently on the panel. That same goes to everybody else and XYZ when he can make it. And cheers to Sevens and who else was here? Roland Smoke was here, and we had one more person, but I'm really high, so
Varg Dog.
Bark Dog, that's right. Bark Dog was here. Awesome. Cheers to everybody that came on and showed your grow, and everybody else out there that's listening. You're welcome to come on and show us. And look at Jace's lights just went out. 9 o'clock. All right. I'm Seed Person One on Instagram or seedperson1@gmail.com. And I will see everybody next Wednesday at the same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. Cheers, everybody. Go watch the Let's Be Buds show.